take 50. When you're trying to say what you need to say and you can't get the words out, and then the light keeps turning off, and then you run out of battery, and then you run out of space, and then you get tired, and then your throat hurts, and then it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and then the thoughts in your mind just will not go away, and then it's still 2 in the morning and all the thoughts will not go away. So I'm just stopping in to say hi, let everybody know I've been doing some videos, I've been doing some clips, just kind of progressing throughout the last few days of my thoughts and how I feel about everything going on right now with the news, with my own health, with my own happiness, with life at its best, and some like tips I've been doing around the house, essential oils to help with asthma and other things respiratory wise, cleaning techniques. I've been recording some videos, so I'm not gonna lie though that through all of this I still get these moments of utter sadness. And the interesting part is I think that it's so important to say that to all of you out there, because I know I'm not the only one who's like going like, is this freaking real? Because you're not really sure what to do or think or feel or be or compartmentalize or put time and energy into. Like, honestly, I'm painting a wall because like if tomorrow's the end of my life, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm playing with magnets on the refrigerator with my son on the floor, even if I'm in an uncomfortable position, because it's important to him and his memories. I'm taking so many vitamins that I should be good, yet I'm paranoid because of the fact that I found out 2 days ago that our town does have some positive cases, and it includes most of the police department. So, and I got in a fight with the postal people. It's a long story, I'll make it on another vlog. But I feel like part of the way that I've been feeling lately is like, here's one little sliced cake of anxiety, one sliced cake of fact and taking it all in, the situations in life right now, and the other slice of like, what if? They're all preparative. If you're dealing with PTSD in any way, or anxiety, or depression, or anything that is triggering to like your own mental well-being, even just grief in general, if you're dealing with anything that is a foundation-based concern with your normal everyday, if you don't do these extra things, like take vitamins and do things that you know that you may not have chances for. And I even thought about it the other day. Are we all talking about this? I think we need to. Who has got your will set up? Who has got, you know, write some letters to your kids, you know? Paint some pictures with your kids. Play with your kids. Make memories with your kids. I've been thinking, I have a friend who's gonna be coming over to take some pictures with me and my son through the window, believe it or not, because we think it's like a really important time. We can't see each other, but me and my son are stuck in the house, so at some point we're gonna actually trade off, and I'm gonna do her house and take pictures with her and her husband. We're both photographer style people. We're artistic, creative. I don't claim to be professional because I don't really. I've done some weddings and I've done some pictures for friends, but that's not the point. A profession, it's a hobby. Anyway, so I was thinking about that, like there's all these new things that like 100 years from now, this time in our period in our lives will make more sense. Right now, it's normal to go through this transition, I feel like. It's only the first of the month, and I can honestly say I'm really kind of worried about going to the grocery store. I am a WIC recipient, and I'm kind of worried about, is there going to be enough milk? Is there going to be enough eggs? Am I going to be able to get cheese? I'm not going to lie, is there enough vegetables? Really concerned about that. And I've been saying for a while that I thought, how could we not know that if it was airborne or not? Now there's been proof to show that that could potentially be a real thing. So I'm saying to the situation, and I'm using a mask when I need to, and I'm not sorry for the way that I'm responding to the public when I'm out, but I will admit that my heart right now, when it comes to the private thoughts I have about friends and family and loved ones, I am so displaced mentally and emotionally right now, because I'm just trying to think of the welfare of the long term. Like, what saga? Is this temporary emotional confusion and emotional deprivation in some senses for some of us, because we can't really go do our normal things, and who knows for how long. And maybe that's the testing of the heartbeat, for all of us. Like, I know there's a lot of people out there who have coping mechanisms that are outside of their own home. So again, I just feel like this is a whole new, I don't know, testing of the soul to see how you respond. Like, it's a weird time for all of us, I will admit that, but an even weirder time for the future at this point. Like, whatever we do now could affect our future. Whatever we don't do now could affect our future. And that's a lot to put on people who are just trying to cope right now in the current. That's a lot. So I'm trying to be really open-minded to the fact that, like, it's like you have your micro universe, right? You have your house, you have your people in it, and what you do independently alone. I've thought about it. Like, as much as immortality I've thought of my life, I've never thought of items and things in my house have I ever thought more right now, being so cooped up in the situation of, like, all right, I really want to take a look at the things that I own and be like, perspective-wise, are these heirlooms? Are some of these things that, my great-grandchildren could see, and who knows when I'll pass one day? Ultimately, we don't know what's happening with health with so many people that I'm literally looking at my child sleeping on the couch the other night and thinking, could something happen to him? And if it did, what would I do? Function. That's a lot to take in for such a small amount of time. We've all just been on a shutdown. But yet the fear tactic, or not, facts, if it be, is pretty serious for most of us in our own special way. So then I made a meme this morning that just felt so right. There was a press conference with our president, and he would suggest it very openly but nonchalantly, that we should save the masks for the nurse and the healthcare professionals that need them, doctors and nurses who need them, healthcare people who need them, and we should use scarves. I watched a few other videos, I watched some local news, and basically it was exactly what it sounded like. A bandana, like a bank robber. Like a cowboy's bank robber. So, if you're watching this video, I'm sure you've seen the meme. It's just a serious reality where I'm like, I can't believe this is so normal. That this is the normal. Unlike ninjas from the 90s and late 80s, what is it? I don't think it was early 70s didn't have ninjas, was it? Maybe. There's been lots of Hollywood put out, the tech days that we were in, and Hollywood has put out the apocalypse style things, and I'm not saying we're at the end of the world, but for some people this is the end of their lives, and some people this is when their lives and their lives with their families, friends, and so on and so forth start separating. This is when your story personally starts to change, each of us, because the dynamics of people around us are experiencing things so deeply, yet we're all experiencing at the same time. I had heard somebody mention, and it was a good point, like, are we going to start a sanitation station in the front of our house if we're all being told this virus could last periods of 18 months or longer? Is that just the virus being, given a vaccination? Are there going to be big groups of people who are not going to get the vaccination, which I personally have friends who've told me that they're not going to do it, which I'm not speaking any volumes on that. How many people are not going to do it, and how many people are going to do it? And is it theory-based, or is it real? As I said, certain blood types. I seriously used essential oils in my carpet today that I know are antifungal, just to hope that I got a good shot on it. It's the least I can do. And it seems so silly, but it's so, so real. So again, it's like, are we just being programmed to be thought-provoking about a lot of our actions, or is this really, truly a new way of being? And I was thinking about it so strongly, you know, whatever is gonna be next for most of us, 100% we need to understand that we're all at different levels. All might be on the same foundational pain that we're not sure what's next, but we're all at different levels. And it's like, you can't even be mad at somebody if they haven't prepared, in a sense, or if they aren't mentally equipped to handle grief or denial or all of that. If they're not able to, what I've been taking a step back and looking at the situation is like, we can only understand it, all of us, at our own level. So the best we can do is to accept other people's levels of progress, circumstances, and their definition of it all around us. So I haven't reached out to a whole lot of people because I know a whole lot of people are dealing with their own situations, and I haven't made that last stitch letter to my son every single day, but I'm going to start doing things like that, because I think not just these videos public, that I think are a really good definition to help me process and, you know, connect with a lot of you guys out there, but I do think that it's to remind one another that, like, there are things we can do independently on our own, for our own little micro world organism inside our own homes. There have been so many people who said, stay the fuck inside. Stay inside. Inside. Not even keep your windows shut. Have been literally pictures in Colorado whenever you go to food distributions. The last time I made a serious video, I had said that I was looking into if there's anything for my son, and being that I'm a single mom and my son goes to Head Start, thankfully there is programs being implemented for my son for school, and we are on a program at least helping out for my son to get meals. So, and they've been really, honestly, very balanced. I've been able to cook with some of the stuff that he hasn't finished, like the celery and the broccoli and things like that. I've been putting it in his dinner and he hasn't noticed. So even if it's in raw form and it doesn't get eaten like a snack, I'm doing what I can at this point to make use of the supplies that we have been given and the circumstances. It's so odd to me. I had called my grandmother, and she lives in Louisiana, and she has a person who had brought her food, and she didn't understand, she didn't comprehend it enough. Unfortunately, she's in her 80s, but she had a lady bring her food. The woman left the food on the table. She took the food, took it out of the box, out of the bags, wiped the table down, and put all the food away. And when my grandmother had went, because she'd been laying down, she has some physical problems, so due to knee replacement, that. Anyway, she went back and noticed what she had finished after the worker had left, and was confused by the fact, and literally said to me, where did all my bags go? Where did all the boxes to the food go? And I was like, Mama, that is normal now. This is the normal thing. Now, I'm a reseller, and I save those boxes. I would have. It's like crazy that I have boxes, batteries, and extra things to sell right now, because I've been a reseller for a while, and I'm so glad I have been. I'm so glad that I'm still a reseller. But the new process of even the way that I package and ship now is so, no exaggeration, out of this world. So I'll probably get into that in a deeper conversation on another video, because I have several. I have about like 6 videos I'm planning out right now, and I know that seems dramatic. I'm always planning things. 6 videos I'm working on that I think would really be helpful for anybody dealing with the pandemic, and in their own shutdown. They're just pointers to help you make it in my own special ways, from food to making money, so on and so forth. Dealing with your kids, dealing with how you're feeling about life. We can only just share our own processes, our own coping mechanisms. Some books that I'll be talking about. So, yeah. I've been noticing a lot of YouTubers lately, not only because of the conversation of a virus, but in general, the monetization has been an issue, and censorship has been an issue for a while on YouTube, and I think it's a very real thing in some ways. Everybody experiences it differently, depending on how you tag your videos, depending on the content. Excuse me. I'm having the worst hiccups. Hold on. Depending how you tag your videos, depending how you label your content, how you market it, what kind of demographic of people are watching it, children, so on and so forth, right? Okay. I really do think is what is affecting people getting their videos flagged so often. And honestly, the thumbs up and down, like, the algorithm figures it out. Facts are, like, a lot of this should be independently for everybody. So I've been noticing a lot of other YouTubers are going out there and they're, I would say overextending themselves, different networks, believing that they can get better monetization or that they can feed it through, and just using Instagram to live stream and other things like that. I honestly think there's a variety of perspectives out there that I think are quite important, and for me, right now, currently, I'm staying on this platform. I obviously am on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on a lot of them, LinkedIn, all so on and so forth. But where I like to actually put content when it comes to videos is still going to be YouTube for it right now. But the token talk videos, the old style, have coffee with me and burn with me videos will continue to be at the WeedTube and Cannabuzz. Cannabuzz is basically like an app that how to explain this? It's like Instagram or LinkedIn, and you can post, but it's not about trying to be fancy spancy. I love Cannabuzz and I love the creators, but the WeedTube, I haven't posted anything for a while, so if you go and you subscribe to me over there, don't be surprised if you don't see anything for a hot minute, because I'm still kind of working on content. The big problem is I am very aggravated with the fact that I haven't finished things in my house, and I will keep repeating this, but because I haven't finished things in my house, I feel very frustrated with recording content that I expect to be a certain way. So when it's a vlog, I prefer to be here. So for now, until I use a bowl, then I'll record those videos and put them as Token Talk vlogs on the WeedTube. But besides that, stay tuned, follow my link tree below. I always have lots of different content in lots of different places. I like to do that. Some of it is the same, but majority, like 2% is the same, the rest is a cluster. Yeah. Anyway, I'm really hoping everybody out there is doing good. I'm really hoping people are staying positive, and I say positive because really it's your perspective. Look for the beauty in the situation. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Really the best way to deal with the situation. And emotions and pain. I woke up this morning actually crying. Why? I don't know. What I was dreaming about? It's very complicated. I would love to talk about it, but it's a dream I keep having. It's actually a repeating dream I keep having. And it's not a good dream. It's a very weird dream. There's so many different parts to it, it's too much. From like 2 or 3 years now. And part of it I actually experienced. Like I had seen a house in the dream, and then I actually went to that house. You walk up a stairway and you look out a window and you're like, oh my god, I've been here before. I know I've been here before. Oh god, oh no. Part of it is Oregon based, so that's another part of it. And then I had actually experienced those visuals from my dream. And then the other day I've been dreaming about this like jean jumper in the dream. It's the weirdest thing in the world. And I saw somebody post it on a Facebook post, and it was a Hunger Games costume that I didn't know anything about because I've never seen Hunger Games. That freaked me the F out too. So morning when I woke up from this dream, it was more of like, I had been saying almost, I don't know, this isn't the dream, but this is just the part of it. I had been saying almost like, I don't know, a year ago, because I had a random thought, and it wasn't anything serious. I still think it's odd that I thought about it. Like, how do we not know bacteria's on our food, right? When you put it in the refrigerator. I am not OCD like that. Like, in fact, I should clean my fridge more often. But I had this weird thought, like a visual of the refrigerator and all the food in it. Like, you know, I'm going to start taking my things out of the boxes. And I have been doing that for a while and reusing the boxes, as I said, to ship from. So I had actually told 2 friends last year about it, and I haven't brought it up to them, but I actually was thinking about the entire situation the other day, and it was just like this period of time, waking up from nightmares where you're like, parts of previous dreams are flashing into a whole spectrum of a dream, and then you wake up and you think of people that you care about, and you're like, all right, nope, don't want to deal with that thought process of pain or any of that. Not gonna do it. And then it comes to you, and you're like shaking it off. Nope, I didn't want to see that. It happened. And then another thing happens. It's just this compilation of strange events that keep happening. And in the last, like, I don't know, week, there are so many cases in Louisiana, which is my birthplace, which is where most of my family are, that I am guaranteed to have a different perspective of dodging California and Louisiana, living there, due to the health concerns that I only have for myself and my family, but like my son not having a teeny tiny baby right now and having a 4-year-old is also a blessing in disguise. As much as this virus is affecting a lot of different people, it is 100% affecting people more so with compromised immune system. So again, as a mom, I'm just like, what can I do with time, with knowledge, with experience? You know, truthfully, I fought 24 years with a liver disease where I really thought I was going to die. So having all this prior mortality thoughts, I don't know how else to say that, gives you a different perspective about life. And, you know, in living, you have pain and you have experience, but then you have actions which bring consequence, which bring new experiences. So it's like any bit of energy can make new things happen. So how do I put this? It's gonna sound like I think it is an Einstein theory. Energy cannot be destroyed, it can only be transformed. So again, it's kind of like this whole reality check of like, everybody has the same opportunity at this point in their lives to decide, was the previous life they were living ideal and made sense? And yes, you can love and you can lose and you can learn and you can progress, but previous experiences often teach you for future experiences. So again, I've told people recently that I care about them, and I have said it publicly and I have said it privately, and the people I have said it to privately, I mean with all my heart. And I think it's the most unselfish way to be as loving as possible, because it hurts me to have to be as openly loving, openly letting my hands go, because I can't control people who don't see my full me. I've done this over and over and over. I want to be with somebody who really wants to love the entire who I am, the broken me too. In my past life before pandemic, I loved for the fact that I was able to. And now I look at the loving in my life of like, why waste time? I won't waste your time, don't waste mine. I will always love the people in my life who are openly understanding that I am genuinely the best version I can be in the moments I can be them. I am not in any way, I don't live in an expectation lifestyle. I worry about people's feelings more than my own, and that has been a bad thing in my life. And I do think it happens to do with mortality when you are someone who just, every action affects another action, and yet I can't hold all of the responsibility in my life or my friends or my family. I can't. I can only hold the responsibility of my own and what wasn't healthy for me. So there are actually family members from like my father's side and my mother's side that I cannot communicate with because they are so disgustingly toxic. And when it comes to my son's life, I'm utterly protective of him because I don't feel like it makes sense to discourage positive things, but I don't think it makes any sense to encourage negative things. So I don't live in a hatred. I don't live in a sense of loss, because I really believe it's kind of like that theory of like, if you again expect for the worst, prepare for the best. All you can do is be responsible for your own actions, and that is really what it comes down to. Like, the most hateful and the most, I guess you could say, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, like, the fucked up people will come right out. And the other people that I hope, it's like a hard place to be, because I'm in a lot of pain right now because I know I have to do these things. There's nothing I can do. People have held me back, and I don't want to hold people back. And that's kind of how I feel about life. Like, I want somebody to wildly love me for exactly who I am and exactly where I'm at. Not of an idea they want me to be, or who they remember I might have been, or what they can conceptualize me to be for them. And it's not sexy to go and rescue people. It's sexy to love people. It's sexy to be honest in the moments with people. And I've never liked to be rescued. I like to be respected. So it's pretty eye-opening though too, who you find, I don't know, is in your court, or who is looking for mistakes in your life. It's pretty eye-opening. It's like, I've played Go Fish so many times, I don't need to play it anymore. Like, you go fish, I'm gonna go this way. There's another pond. So, and that hurts, because like, an ideal of perfection, or an ideal of love, or an idea of a friend, or even a family, okay? When it comes to somebody you're vulnerable with, the last thing you ever want to feel is that you're not enough for somebody, or that the feelings you feel are not reciprocated. Because that's the hardest thing I've learned in my pain, in my isolation, when it came to being sick and not having the people respect me or expect more from me than I literally was capable of. I don't treat people in the difference. I expect people to treat me with the same respect as I give, and so on and so forth. So I've learned over the last years, let's say 20 years, yeah, probably since 2000, because I've had some of those friends, we've come back in full circle. But I'm literally, to be honest, don't have many enemies, and that's to be real, because, like, what's the energy? What does that do? How does that make life great? To be mad at anybody. It's like, not pity, but a respect for someone's position of where they're at. And I do think in this time, that's pretty important for a lot of us. We need to remember that we're all in our own place. So, yeah, when the restrictions, if the restrictions become lifted and people are well enough to find each other in their wholesome selves, no way to understand each other's dynamic fully. And that's why I personally have not went to the extent of reaching out to every single person I love at this part in my life, this part of my life, because my son's priority at this point. And it's interesting, the friends who have reached out, or the friends I'm in connection with the closest, because again, it's not an eye for an eye, but the friends who haven't reached out, I am 100% sure that's what it's about. So I actually am kind of glad that they're showing their true colors, and I don't want anything to do with it. And that's hurtfully sad for some, and uplifting and liberating for others. It's the tragic progression of life. It's like, I am not afraid to be alone, but I meet a lot of people who don't know how to be alone. And I know how to love, and I know how to love myself, but I don't know how to honor my feelings at times. So that seems like pretty, I don't know, confusing to some. So in this time period where we're dealing with a pandemic, I've wanted to share openly a lot of the time how I've been feeling, and come out here and be like, yeah. And then I get completely, like, I'm sure in this vlog there's lots of things I wish I haven't said, but on the reality of it is in your own personal way, I'm sure you're dealing with it yourself too. And that's the human side of this, is that we all need to remind each other that, like, I am not going to understand where you're at, and I'm sure as hell know you won't understand me either. But what's next? What's important to share? Is it the third category of who knows what? Or is it the this is what I know because of experience? Or is it what the fuck panic? No. So, like I said earlier, the choices of being positive and looking at the bright side to things and being honest with yourself about things, silver lining, I think, is gonna get a lot of us through this and change the dynamic of the future in whatever the way that may be. So I hope you enjoyed this video, because I'm gonna go. I'm really tired, and I'm sure that I've said enough. I need to edit this too, so I'll be doing that tomorrow. So again, this is April the 1st. Thank you for watching. If I said anything that may have offended anybody, please don't be offended. In the best of my ability, I'm just trying to share my perspective of this situation and how it's affecting me. And, you know, some of the time I will share things that I've heard local, and other things that, this is not the vlog, obviously, that I have shared all of the states that I am friends with. My last video, I will link that below. Actually, the last two videos, I'll link them below in this video, because just to get up to speed where I'm at, knowing that my town has some cases, knowing that I'm still not feeling tip-top, and I do have asthma, I am a compromised immune system in a small town as I am in. It's very similar to the dynamic of Louisiana and close quarters. So I will be talking about my perspective to the circumstances. I will be sharing more with a lot of you subscribers, and I appreciate everybody coming here, giving this love and this support. And you know, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified, and stay tuned. Follow the link tree below. I have not put out a new podcast. Again, I haven't been feeling that great. I know that's a terrible damn excuse, but at least I'm still here. So that's an improvement. So yeah, and I want to apologize for all the light bulb moments when they went out, and the editing click, click, click. Try not to play with the filters too much. Let me tell you though, I love it. So yeah, I'm sure there'll be something here. Meantime, have a good night, have a good day, wherever you're at. Stay well, be safe. Comment below and tell me where you're at. Tell me how you're doing. Until next time.